Splitter tunnels. Stay tuned to find out what they are and how I'm gonna make them. That's a good one! So what is a splitter tunnel, you're probably asking? Well, a splitter tunnel is effectively one of those things. It's a diffuser for the splitter. What it does, I'm not gonna go into detail. There's so many different videos, but effectively what you need to know, what I want to know, well, I wanted to know. Free aero, they generate downforce with absolutely minimal drag. Also, they help direct air sort of behind the tire rather than right in front of it to create even more drag. This is how they kind of look. Obviously, this is a cardboard mock-up. They sit somewhere around here, so this is the edge of the tire on a straight. All this will be sort of going behind the tire and then evacuated behind it, aids cooling for the brakes and generates extra downforce. You can go as elaborate as you want. If you look at F1 cars, they sort of like multiple sort of different tunnels. You can have modular systems where you have one sort of like this, then you'll have another one like this, then you can have another one like this. All depends on your sort of layout and how much space you have, what you want to achieve with it, and if you have a friend who can CFD design it for you. I'm basically just going from pictures I saw online and a very simple one that I can make 2 molds from, so I can actually sell them, because yeah, you can't really buy them for decent money. Well, obviously mine are not going to be dirt cheap, they're still going to cost something, but at least they're going to be available from RuskiWeldFab, as well as my t-shirts and hoodies.
Merch.
Go!
In order to make this, I think the easiest and by far the most robust would be, obviously I need a mold.
Obviously.
So I was thinking cutting out, so effectively it's only three sides to it, cutting out aluminium sheets like that, because the cool thing is, for the other side, what I can do is obviously I reverse it and put it on opposite sides, and as 2 identical molds. So aluminium, and then all I have to do is just weld it on the seams, then I sort of grind it and make it all nice and smooth, and that's going to be a finished shape to make a mold from, because to make a mold, a sort of commercial quality mold from cardboard is not ideal. I mean, if it was a one-off, I could literally just stick this on, do my usual sort of skinning method, you know, gold tape, aluminium tape, PVA, blah blah blah. You have the finished items, but like I said, I want to sell them. I want to make a few copies. There's I have few orders actually for splitters, and the guys are interested in tunnels as well, so might include them as an extra for my custom RuskiWeldFab splitters. Let's go and cut some aluminium, do a bit of welding, and then make some molds. So after a little bit of TIG welding, and I have to say I'm getting better at aluminium welding. I'm definitely happy. I mean, look at that. It's almost like a pro shop.
Like a pro.
Anyways, this is our shape. Aluminium. So let's measure. Let's see how it fits. Look at that. Look at that. Fantastic. It will go a little bit lower because this is going to be the flange. I wanted 6 centimeter side because of my subframe clearance and stuff. So this will sort of go lower because it will be like an L thing. Because obviously you have to cut the splitter, sort of the shape out. And then this goes from underneath. Alright? One down, one to go.
1 hour later.
Would you look at that? After a bit of grinding and sanding, the edge is nice and smooth. I'm very happy with the shape. and I'm very happy how they are literally identical. Obviously I haven't done the math with regards to the angle or whatnot. From pictures, what I found, that's pretty much alright, but also because I'm limited on my split, I cannot really go any higher. So I'm just hoping this will give you something.
I'll give you something. Here we go. All right.
The next step to make mold, I reckon because they're going to be a pair, I'll never sell one. So you'd have to make them all at the same time. My favorite material to use as a base for the mold or anything like that is debond, because one surface is really smooth and it takes well any sort of release agent. So we're gonna position two of them, like leaving us a nice wide couple of inches flange, maybe something similar in the middle, and then this one goes onto here. So this is how it's going to be. So what I'm gonna use is my trusty glue gun, stick this in place, a little bit of tape, and then what I need is molding wax, seal the edges everywhere around. Yeah, look at this. Honestly, I love how it looks before you mold it, like the proper plug. It just already looks like a sculpture. Very happy with this whole thing. So basically all the wax everywhere in the corners to create a nice little radius to prevent it from leaking in there, blah blah blah. It's all been cleaned with isopropyl little blah. That word, alcohol, just to sort of have a surface nice and clean. And now we're ready to cover it with a PV. After 15-20 minutes passed and the PVA is dry and set, you can apply your gel coat. This is what I'm doing at the moment. It's nice and bright green, basically Novichok color. The key is to apply semi-thick layers. You need at least 2 layers and you have to wait a couple of hours between the layers until it goes into the B stage. I've said it before, B stage is when it's still tacky, when you touch it with a gloved finger, but nothing stays on the finger itself. And then you apply another coat, let it dry, not dry, again another B stage, so it's still tacky, and then we can apply the reinforcement. Gel coat is ready to be laid. I might have left it a little bit too long, but still a bit tacky, which is okay. So for this, I'm gonna use my favorite Unimold, not the cheapest, but works absolutely perfect because you can do all the layers and it has almost zero shrinkage and all of that stuff. So the process, I might have explained it before, is very simple. So after your gel coat is ready, you apply a coupling coat. Basically, it's a thin base layer of resin and fiberglass. So we're using Unimold UC1 coupling coat and 100 gram glass fiber. So it's very thin material and we need to apply about 2 layers. And then we wait until it goes off, until it reaches the B stage, which is going to be about 2 to 3 hours. And then we apply about 4 coats of normal 400 gram glass fiber with a proper tooling resin. Let's go. You can see this is a coupling coat done, 2 layers. I had to cut in a few places to go into different corners, so then just little offcuts just to double up. So now we wait a couple of hours and we apply the main reinforcement. I cannot wait to see how this turns out. check this out. It looks absolutely perfect. The black markings, according to Rob thinking, is basically a transfer through of material that was on here. Even though I tried to clean them with isopropyl alcohol, again that word, like 5 times, and it will be fine, because this part is kind of visual, but because they go on your splitter, nobody will ever see them. So this, in my opinion, doesn't need to be absolutely perfect, because A, not a show car, and B, nobody will ever see them, and C, this is going to be absolutely perfect anyways, even if you sort of a picky kind of person. I will polish it just to make it even smoother and to make sure that the material and the reinforcement, the finished part, comes off easier, because obviously the smoother the surface, because this is absolutely perfect. It's like silky smooth, like glass smooth, because obviously we're using this material debond. This is not as perfect because it's aluminium, but still it's proper and it's green.
Green.
So this will be for sale, but before I announce the price and where you can buy them, let me make the first one. I cannot wait. And by the way, this is going to be infusion molded, infusion blade, infused, so the top quality, lightest parts, and RuskiWeldFab name on it. It's time for the laminate. This one is a mixture of things. So I've decided to have Kevlar as a top layer. Then we have E-glass, because I am cheap and I don't want to use another layer of Kevlar or carbon. It's a nice filler layer. Then we're using a layer of this material. I cannot remember what's it called. I'll leave a name right here. It's basically effectively like foam. Then we have a layer of dialin, again, because I don't have any thinner carbon, and 2 layers of 450 grams is a little bit too much. And then a layer of carbon. So 4 layers of reinforcement, a little bit of foam, and it should be structural, because as you can see on the splitter, this place is going to be completely cut off. So effectively this part of the splitter is only going to be held by this little bridge. So we need the tunnels to be structural. They're going to be bonded and riveted to the splitter itself. So they're going to have strength in them. Time and time again, I know why this stuff costs so much, even though you would think that this is so much easier. Lay it dry, package it, and Bob's your uncle.
Bob, your uncle.
No, 2.5 hours just to lay this. No, even more, cutting the templates and everything. I think this is done, and I'm actually really happy how it's looking. So the bag, we have plenty of pleats, so it's not gonna sag or stretch on anything. All the reinforcement is where it's supposed to be. We have flow mesh, so I'm hoping that this tube will distribute it to both corners, and then it will go like that, and then we have vacuum line coming from the center of the part. So theoretically it should pull resin from corners into the center. Aha! This looks like it's done and dry. Let's take it out of the mold and have a look what we got. So, everything has been taken off, so it's nice and clean. And for the first time, well, not for the first time, I already took it out, I will reveal. Ta-da! It's worked out better categorically, I can say better than I was expecting it. It's absolutely perfect. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, come on, after some trim. I'm not sure of the weight, but who cares when they look like this? Obviously, the underside looks like dry carbon. It can be coated if you really want to coat it and not be as matte or just shiny. Of course, I'm not going to do that because it's still nice and smooth and it's absolutely fine. But oh my god, and it's like this. Yes, I'm so excited.
So exciting.
I'm so excited. And the mold is in one piece. So, like I want it, I can replicate and I can make them for sale. Well, not really for sale, actually, yeah, for sale as well, but also the custom splitters that I'm making for people. This will be as an extra option for the splitter, a splitter tunnel. I'll also make them modular. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but there will be sort of like a longer piece in here, like that. So you can extend, so you can have two, so it can be double. There's also be another piece here that goes sort of like that. So if you want this one straight, but this one sort of more outwards, you can do that. So there will be like 3 or 4 other ones that are sort of almost like a Lego. You can combine to make a bigger one, a different shape. Watch the space.